before. But like I said, the comprehensive plan amendments, they've been ongoing since the start of the year, since we had our Department of Commerce gave us allowed us to change our scope of work for the comprehensive plan changes. They were originally proposed to be completed in 2014, however, there were some issues that came up that prevented that happening, and we changed the scope of work on the deliverables to include only the revisions to Chapter 3, the natural environment, revisions to Chapter 8, transportation, provide a revised critical areas map versus a new critical areas regulations, and also updating the capital facilities element. Now, these proposed changes, they were reviewed by the Planning Commission. They had their hearing on March 24th, and the Planning Commission is recommending approval of the revisions to the Council of the different changes to the different elements. And we did receive comments from 5 agencies that I mentioned last time, and you can take a look on, if you have your PowerPoint up on your screen, see who they are. And most of the comments were positive. Knuckle Studio and Tribe had a few additional comments that we addressed. Just a quick rundown of what changes are. We formatted, for the natural environment, we reformatted the column. We removed redundant policies and goals. We added new policies dealing with best available science, which is something that's required by the Growth Management Act. And we did provide the policies regarding volcanic hazard evacuation routes, added a biodiversity section, which included goal and policies, and adopts the Lower White River Biodiversity Management Stewardship Plan by reference. Also provides greater detail of existing conditions, provides greater detail for discussion points for policies, and we have updated the maps. We have a new soils map that will be provided based on King and Pierce County soils information. We have a new creek stream map that will be within there that is based on the Department of Natural Resources stream typing system, which the city has already adopted in its critical areas regulations. We have a new wellhead protection map. It's pretty basic. It just shows concentric circles around the wellheads at the 6-month, 1-year, 5-year, and 10-year intervals. And like I said, we have a new Lahar hazard map since we are in the volcanic hazard zone for Mount Rainier. And we'll have an updated critical areas map based upon the work that was done by the wetlands biologist that was hired by the city underneath the GMA contract to update our critical areas, in other words, wetland mapping. And this is the actual map that they provided, which is incorporated in their critical areas. Transportation, again, it was reformatted in a single column. It removes goals and policies that we felt were redundant, provided discussion statements for the policies, updated the existing roadway level of service. The Table A2 is updated for existing levels of service. Table A3 is updated for projected LOS for 2025. Table 4 is updated for projected LOS for 2035. Background data has been updated because we did the actual traffic counts for it. And there's a new map 8.3 that is provided that is key to tables 8.2, 8.3, and 8.4, so you can track where the intersections that were looked at for developing the levels of service. So this is the new map, and it's a little harder to see up here, but you can see you can see where these intersections are located. So recommended action is continued discussion of proposed revisions to review them at the last study session for the initial review. I know that a number of the council members wanted to take a closer look and put together some questions, and that's what we're here tonight, to further discussion, answer questions that you may have, or any suggestions that maybe we want to incorporate into the comprehensive plan in those two different elements. And based upon our discussions, I would be looking at maybe putting together resolution maybe at the next meeting or the meeting thereafter to set a public hearing for June 22nd to review bring in additional comments regarding the proposed revisions. And that's my presentation in a nutshell. If there are questions, specific questions that you have, ready to take them. Questions? Got to be some questions.
So the timeline, so you're looking for no action at the next meeting. You want to do another workshop?
If the council wishes to have another workshop, if they wish to take more time to review these, I'm looking at setting the public hearing for June 22nd because of the fact that the Department of Commerce indicated in their letter to us when we sent this to them to start their 60-day review period that the legislative action cannot take place until after June 13th. So the next regular council meeting is the June 22nd meeting. Yes?
Actually, I did have one question. In the transit section of transportation, we still have a discussion of a park and ride. And looking at issues that have been seen with town transit and park and ride on Mercer Island, do we have any discussion in there that the park and ride should in some way be designed to discourage use by people coming in from other jurisdictions simply to get to a park and ride that's not full?
No, there's no discussion of that fact.
Okay. Right now, if we built a park and ride, it would probably be mostly filled with people who can't fit in somewhere and would just come up to the next stop.
Oh, yeah, that's how it would work.
So there are alternatives that make it more, if you don't use federal funding for it, you can have some restrictions or have local passes or something that doesn't make it open to everyone equally that actually discriminates in favor of the people whose passes support it.
Mm-hmm.
For your transportation benefit district comes in, you start tolling along the route.
Or you include a parking pass as part of your TDD.
So right now we have modified version of what we're looking at. Are we going to see a more streamlined, for a better word, version that we don't have the red and the blue, blah, 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 but we know exactly what we're looking at as far as...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, for the public hearing for the 22nd, you'll have the version that does not have the red and blue. Or I think there's some green in there, and those are to call out requested changes by the Department of Ecology, the Muckleshoots, and then also by Planning Commission. So the tracking will be pure black and white by the time the council meeting comes along.
Which is easier for us to understand what's now in the document, not what's suggestion or request.
Right now, everything that's in the document right now are the proposed revisions, some in different colors.
Right.
So that is the basics of what the revisions are.
Okay.
So is it your intent then when you have the public hearing on June 22nd to have it on the agenda for approval that night?
Yes.
Is there a reason why we can't maybe move it to have the public hearing at the workshop so council has a week or two on it in case they have questions for the following week? Just a curiosity, or council thinks of that?
Yeah, but I don't see any problems with having a public hearing at the workshop, because that's still after the June 13th.
I'm thinking that way it still gives an opportunity for council to have some questions to get an answer maybe before they vote on it the following week.
And actually, I think that's a pretty good idea when I think about it, because right now, I don't know what comments the Department of Commerce may have on it.
Sure.
We may be getting something in shortly or something closer to the deadline, or maybe none at all. But if we do get comments in, we're certainly going to want to be able to, the council certainly going to want to be able to discuss those comments in both, workshop session and the public hearing section too. So I think that's a positive,
And I think we're well within the timeline to get it posted.
Any questions from council?
I have, one answer for Councilmember Putnam regarding renaming of Milwaukee Creek from the ditch. I looked at the state site and said that councils, municipalities can name local geographic features. And however, to get it officially on the state site, you'd have to make an application for it. But we can name local geographic features.
Yes, for those in the audience who haven't heard, can we officially rename Milwaukee Ditch to Milwaukee Creek ourselves, or does it have to go to the state board of geographic names?
That opens up a whole world of possibilities. We can name all kinds of stuff.
There's no guidelines. I can certainly send them to you.
Creek sounds like something you could fish in.
I haven't, but you could. There are fish in fact in the summertime.
Sounds like something you'd back to.
They gotta swim through the orange rust cone.
Yes.
Kids actually, some of them eat them.
Fish and Wildlife and both DNR says it's fish.
Oh, they definitely are. Fish, frogs, muskrat.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Carbattery.
Yeah, carbattery, yeah.
My son's in the natural resource program here, remember, we went to Milwaukee Ditch, basically.
Milwaukee Creek.
Aaron Rosen.
Creek.
And he saw a baby duck, and he basically said that it doesn't get rehabbed, he's gonna call it together, ducks, he thought what the creek looks like.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of trash goes down that.
And then, like I say, it's a matter of perception and trying to get people to correct perception and try to
Calling it a creek.
call it a creek, because the connotation of a creek versus a ditch is much different in most people's minds. And,
How do you trash it?
and maybe eventually down the line, we'll get some riparian vegetation out there that will really enhance the creek much more than what it is right now. In the summertime, it wouldn't be a good place for fishing resources because it'll really get pretty hot. It'll kill off the anadromous fish pretty quick unless you get some shading for it. So. Other questions?
So no action this time, we'll see it again on the
I did have one question. By calling it a creek, we want to say that we're going in to bring awareness, but at what point do we open ourselves up to need to rehab it ourselves?
We don't.
That's driven by street testing and
It's already, underneath our current regulations, is already classified by DNR. We use the Department of Natural Resources Stream Classification System. It's already classified as a creek by Department of Natural Resources and also by Fish and Wildlife, and it's already designated fish in the creek. So by our current regulations, there are mandated properties.
But it's only fish bearing up to Fifth Southwest. Above that, I think it's classified as non-fish perennial, and then above Tacoma, it's non-fish or seasonal.
Right now, it depends on who you talk to.
Okay.
Right, actually, Department of Natural Resources said that it's beyond Fifth. It goes up down Tacoma. Muckleshoots, they're saying there's fishing resources further upstream also. So does the Fish and Wildlife folks. Actually, just to give you an idea what the thing, I don't have the pointer I can point to. Roughly right in this area here, where it shows a branch of the stream, that's where it's not the hatch, it's a little bit further up, but there's the Metro pumping station there. And we have met with them, and they have proposed to, they're putting a new line, a 14 and 12-inch line. And they had proposed to block off the stream and reroute it while they put their lines that thing in. Well, the Muckleshoots have already come back and said, this fish in there, you're going to have to bore it. So that's what we're facing in terms of dealing with the streams here, we have there's a Indian tribe that has some pretty good power based on court decisions, so, and they're actually gonna require Metro to do a fisheries, study on that section of the creek, so that might give us some more information too. And actually, Metro is planning to do that itself as part of their project, so we might get some more information on fisheries resources upstream from Pitt, based on a little bit of that study. So that'll be some more science, actual science.
Yeah, they'll just come out and chop it. This would be a great year to do it if you wanted to prove it was no fishing.
Dry.
How deep does it get?
Pardon?
How deep does it get?
Oh,
In winter, it's check time.
in the summertime, it's a lot lower, but, you know, the thing is, just a little bit of background on fisheries resources. This Milwaukee Creek is the type of creek that is what you might say the niche environment for coho salmon. These are the type of creeks I think prefer the smaller ones versus the Chinook or the chum. This type of creeks, they can, a Chinook salmon fry, as part of its earlier life cycle of living in small creeks, they can live in a creek as small as 1 inch in width and with 1 inch of water and survive, provided the water is cool enough and clean enough. So they really do, this is their niche streams that they do use for their habitats. So, and in this stream, you know, when you're looking at Milwaukee Creek, it's not likely, when you look at the stream beds, and I've done stream bed assessments with fisheries biologists, so I'm not an expert on it, but I have probably enough knowledge to be dangerous. But looking at the stream beds that you have here, it's not likely they're spawning beds in there, but it is, if there was more vegetation along the stream corridors, so they have better shading and more areas where the fish can hide from predators, it'd be a very, very good habitat for coho salmon fry. That's why they're saying in fisheries resources. And one thing you have to remember with the Muckleshoot tribe, and this is borne out in a court case against the Washington State Department of Transportation. It's not only streams, but when they look at the stream, it's not only the stream, they look at the entire stretch of the stream, regardless if there's a man-made blockage or not. If there's a man-made blockage of the stream, like a culvert or something, anything upstream is still determined by them to be a fisheries stream. So, and underneath the court case, the Department of Transportation has been budgeting over the years to replace culverts that were fish blockages on state highway. So, just to get an idea. And fortunately, they haven't come after municipalities at this point. So, anyway, that's a little bit of background.